Welcome to the Fate Spun channel, a place where every story will make you feel, wonder, and hold your breath. Are you ready? Then go ahead. Story number 1. The most valuable tip I ever learned about apologies. Growing up, I was one of those people who thought an apology was just a way to say, "Hey, I messed up, but let's move on." I didn't realize how shallow my apology sounded until one particular incident turned that belief upside down. A few years ago, I got into a heated argument with my best friend, Jake. We had been inseparable since middle school, but as we grew older, our lives took different paths. I started working a high-pressure job, and Jake went back to school to study art. I thought his choice was impractical and told him as much during an argument. My exact words were, "How do you expect to make a living drawing pictures?" It came out harsher than I intended, but I didn't stop to think about how it sounded. Jake didn't speak to me for weeks. I figured he was overreacting, but my girlfriend, Claire, called me out. She said, "Do you even know what you're apologizing for? It's not just the words you said. It's how you dismissed something that clearly matters to him." That stuck with me. I realized I had been apologizing like it was a checkbox, not an effort to repair the relationship. So I went down a rabbit hole online, reading about how to make an apology meaningful. That's when I stumbled across a gem of advice on Reddit's LPT subreddit. A real apology has 3 parts: acknowledging what you did wrong, expressing genuine regret, and asking how to make things right. Leave out excuses. Armed with this, I decided to reach out to Jake. I didn't text him or call him. Instead, I drove to his apartment and knocked on his door. When he answered, he looked surprised, but didn't slam the door in my face. So I figured I had a shot. I said, "Jake, I owe you a real apology. I was completely out of line when I dismissed your decision to study art. It was disrespectful and unfair of me, and I regret hurting you. You're my best friend, and I want to support you. Please tell me how I can make this right." Jake stood there for a moment, processing my words. Then he said, "Honestly, just mean it when you say you believe in me." That conversation didn't instantly fix everything, but it opened the door to rebuilding our friendship. Now, whenever I apologize, I think about those 3 parts. It's not just about saying sorry, it's about understanding the weight of your actions and showing the other person you're committed to doing better. So, here's my life pro tip. When you mess up, don't treat an apology as a magic eraser. Use it as a chance to show you're serious about repairing the damage. Trust me, it's a game changer. Story number 2, the grocery store hack that saved my sanity. I never thought a simple life pro tip could transform my weekly routine, but here we are. Let me set the stage. I'm a single parent with 2 kids, both under the age of 8. Grocery shopping was my personal nightmare. No matter how well I planned, it always spiraled into chaos. One kid would want to ride in the cart, while the other demanded snacks we didn't need. And me? I'd forget half the stuff on my list in the midst of the madness. One particularly disastrous trip involved my youngest screaming for candy in the checkout line, while my oldest knocked over a display of canned soup. The cashier gave me that "I feel bad, but I'm also judging you" smile, and I just about lost it. That night, while scrolling through Reddit, I came across an LPT post titled "The Grocery Store Loop Method." It wasn't fancy, but the comments made it sound like pure genius. The tip? Organize your list by sections of the store and follow the same route every time. No backtracking, no forgotten items, no extra trips down aisles, where your kids can grab unnecessary junk. The next day, I decided to give it a shot. I spent a little extra time organizing my list into categories: produce, dairy, meat, pantry staples, and frozen goods. Then I mapped out a loop based on how my store was laid out. Produce first, frozen last, no zigzagging. I told my kids we were on a mission to complete the loop without any detours. To make it fun, I let my oldest check off items from the list, while the youngest held a small basket for lightweight items. And you know what? It worked. I mean, really worked. Not only did we finish in record time, but the kids were too focused on their jobs to beg for extra treats or cause mayhem. For the first time in years, I left the store without feeling like I'd run a marathon. Since then, I've turned the loop method into a family ritual. We even have a little cheer when we complete the loop. It's funny how such a small change can make such a huge difference. So, here's my life pro tip for all the overwhelmed parents out there. Turn your grocery trip into a mission with a clear route and tasks for everyone. It won't just save you time, it might just save your sanity too. Story number 3, the showerhead secret that changed everything. Let me start by saying I'm not a plumber or a handyman, just an average person who likes to solve problems. But this life pro tip turned me into a hero in my own home. A few months ago, I started noticing my shower pressure was getting weaker. At first, I chalked it up to an old house and aging pipes. But then it got to the point where rinsing out shampoo felt like a battle. My partner was frustrated, and I was getting tired of hearing complaints about something I had no idea how to fix. One day, while aimlessly scrolling Reddit, I stumbled on an LPT titled, "If your shower pressure is low, check your shower head before calling a plumber." The post explained that most modern shower heads have a small flow restrictor inside to save water, but over time, it can get clogged with mineral deposits. Removing or cleaning it could instantly improve the pressure. I was skeptical, but figured I had nothing to lose. I grabbed my toolbox, unscrewed the shower head, and found the little restrictor just as described, a tiny plastic disc with holes. Sure enough, it was caked with lime and gunk. A quick soak in vinegar, a gentle scrub with an old toothbrush, and it looked good as new. Before putting it back, I hesitated. The post mentioned that some people just remove the restrictor entirely for maximum pressure. I decided to experiment and left it out. When I turned the water back on, it was like stepping under a waterfall. The pressure was glorious. My partner came home later that day and immediately noticed. "What did you do? It's amazing!" they exclaimed. I played it cool, shrugging like it was no big deal. But inside, I felt like I'd just won the Nobel Prize for home maintenance. Now, every time I take a shower, I silently thank that random Redditor who saved me from overpaying a plumber. And here's the best part. I've since helped 2 friends and a neighbor with the same issue, and they've all said it was life-changing. So, here's my LPT for anyone dealing with weak shower pressure. Check your shower head before shelling out cash for professional help. A little DIY effort can go a long way, and you might just feel like a genius when you're done. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to leave a comment. See you in the next video. Good luck!